Good evening and welcome back to UINDY TV News. I'm Vanessa Sanchez.
And I'm Luke Cooper. Tensions are rising again in the Middle East as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered new forceful strikes in Gaza. According to NPR, Netanyahu is accusing Hamas of breaking the ceasefire. The move also follows reports of Hamas firing on Israeli troops and returning the wrong hostage remains. Meanwhile, Israeli forces killed 3 Palestinian militants in a raid. All this comes less than 3 weeks after President Donald Trump worked out a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. With more than 68,000 Palestinians having been reported dead since the war began, the latest clashes threaten to unravel what little peace remains.
Millions of Americans are at risk of losing federal food and nutrition benefits. This comes as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, will run out of the money on November 1st due to the government shutdown. SNAP is a federal aid program that provides food purchasing assistance to low or no income individuals or families. Approximately 42 million Americans rely on this program for assistance. The USDA confirmed on their website saying, quote, "Bottom line, the well has run dry at this time. There will be no SNAP benefits issued on November 1st. Those who rely on the SNAP benefits are encouraged to use food banks and other subsidized meal programs."
And expanding off the potential loss of SNAP benefits, Democratic leaders in 25 states are taking the Trump administration to court. The lawsuit targets the USDA because of the looming SNAP benefit suspension starting on November 1st. States argue the USDA is legally required to use its $5 to $6 billion contingency fund before cutting off aid. The money won't cover all of November benefits, but officials say it could keep millions from going hungry. The USDA says using the fund during a government shutdown is illegal. The suit is led by Democratic attorney generals from 22 states, Washington, D.C., and 3 Democratic governors.
President Donald Trump met with Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takachi, on Tuesday talking trade deals, baseball, fireworks, alliances, and more. Takachi took office last week and kicked off Tuesday's bilateral meeting with Trump with a warm welcome. She said she hoped they would mark a, quote, "new golden age of the Japan-U.S. alliance." The administration's worked to nail down several major energy and technology projects in America to be funded by Japan as a part of a trade framework. Takachi also confirmed that Japan would donate 250 cherry blossom trees to Washington, D.C. to celebrate the U.S.'s 250th anniversary next year. It was not immediately clear how the investments would operate, but Trump declared the day with the new Prime Minister a win.
Hurricane Melissa made landfall on Jamaica Tuesday afternoon as a devastating Category 5 hurricane. With a pressure of 892 millibars and sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, Hurricane Melissa hit the Caribbean country around 1 p.m. on Tuesday. It is one of the strongest storms ever seen in the Atlantic Ocean. Melissa is tied with 2 other hurricanes as the strongest storms to make landfall. As the storm swept over Jamaica, it dropped to a Category 4 hurricane and brought around 40 inches of rainfall. Cuba is also forecasted to receive over 25 inches of rain. The National Hurricane Center has stated that this is, quote, "an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation," and is urging residents of affected areas to not leave shelter until the all-clear is given.
2 members of the Illinois National Guard said they will refuse to carry out the Trump administration's goal of sending federal troops into Chicago. Staff Sergeant Demi Palachik told CBS News, quote, "It feels illegal. This is not what we signed up to do." Captain Dylan Blaha also had similar reservations and accused the Trump administration of, quote, "actively dismantling our rights, free speech, due process, and the freedom of press." The Guard members could face a court-martial imprisonment or discharge if they refuse a lawful order. The Trump administration is attempting to send roughly 500 federalized troops from Illinois and Texas into Chicago to crack down on crime and protest against immigration raids. City and state leaders in Illinois have vocally opposed the latest attempted deployment.
A man accused of assaulting a University of Georgia student while wearing a Nazi uniform is now facing charges. 23-year-old Grace Lang is identified in media reports as the student who was hit outside of a bar last Thursday. Lang identified her attacker as Kenneth Leland Morgan. She says she knows Morgan through mutual friends and that he is known through their circles around town. Lang's friends said that she was telling Morgan to leave and to go home, according to an NBC interview. A viral video of the attack circulating online shows the suspect outside of a bar with a woman yelling at him to leave. The video then shows the man taking his beer mug and swinging it at the woman's face. Morgan was booked into custody on suspicion of 2 misdemeanor counts of simple battery and 1 felony count of aggravated assault. The University of Georgia said that the suspect is not a student or affiliated with the school, and they are, quote, horrified at the actions of the individual.
Indiana University alumni pulled over $1 million in donations in response to the recent decisions about Indiana Daily Student, according to the Indy Star. More than 300 former IDS staff has signed a letter asking that IU Student Publications Alumni Board is included in conversations about its future. One alumni told Indy Star that they want more transparency from the IU administration, stating they, quote, need to hear from people in the newsroom, not just professional staff, but students as well. The alumni are finding other ways to support the newspaper, such as covering the cost of food for the staff or advertising.
It's that time of year again. Spooky season is upon us, and a new survey by the consulting firm PwC found 80% of responders said they plan to spend some money this Halloween. They found Americans on average plan to spend around $289 for festivities, and those with young kids will spend an average of $455. The PwC also stated that Americans started preparing for Halloween earlier this year, with around 34% of consumers already spending half of their Halloween budget by the time September rolled around. With Halloween falling on a Friday this year, many Americans are planning their Halloween activities by throwing parties and other events.
Dictionary.com has just announced 6-7, its 2025 word of the year. If you're not up to speed on this year's slang, you may be puzzled by the outcome. 6-7 is an ambiguous slang term made popular earlier this year by Gen Alpha and Gen Z across social media and friend groups across the country. The term has no real meaning, but some say it could be so or maybe this, or used as an exclamation. Ultimately, it's an inside joke among teens that spread on TikTok and nonsense phrase often paired with the hand motion. Other finalists for the word of the year include aura farming, tariff, trade wife, agenet, and over-tourism.
Thank you, Vanessa. I can't believe that's the word of the year, and it's almost the end of October already. Jace, the fall air is definitely here now. How's the evening going to be feeling for us?
Yeah, guys, looking into this evening, I wish it was 67 degrees, but it's going to be 49 degrees outside if you step outside. Some rain showers are coming through the area and will persist into the overnight hours as a system makes its way through. It's actually pushing off kind of to the north and west. We see most systems head to the east. This one doing a little bit of a different motion than we see most storms. Here's a system right here, kind of spinning up towards us. We'll get some rain over the course of the afternoon hours and evening hours that will stay around for at least the next day or so, but things should clear out heading into the rest of the week. We'll get into that future cast here in a little bit, but first, some local news.
The round table where no topic is off limits. NFL, NBA, MLB, college, you name it, we got it. We don't report on sports, we debate them. From legacy to greatness. From touchdowns to blocks at the rim. You decide who's right. Tune in to the debate at UINDY TV on YouTube every Tuesday at 6 p.m. or on Spotify at First Stop Sports.
Yeah. Okay, guys, seriously, basketball and hockey have got to be the best sports around. Speed, skill, drama, 7-game series, they have got it all.
Nah, baseball is the best sport, and that's just a fact, Jace.
You guys are both wrong. It's 100% football. You guys need to get on the football train.
Everyone stop. Why fight now when you can watch us debate on Grand Slam Sports on YouTube on Fridays at 6 p.m. or on Xfinity channel 1096.
News. How much time we got? Okay. I'll take coffee. I love coffee.
We're on the air.
All right. Good evening, I'm Chris Hammer, here to report the news for you. For your campus, local, and national headlines, UINDY TV News has got you covered. Wednesdays at 6.
A bicyclist was killed early Monday morning on Carson Avenue, Indianapolis police said. IMPD said the incident occurred when it was very dark outside before 7 a.m. As of Monday evening, the victim's name had not been released to the public. The crash location in the 3300 block of Carson Avenue is less than 1 mile north of the UINDY campus. IMPD reminded both drivers and cyclists to follow the rules of the road. For cyclists riding after dark, they are urged to wear reflective gear and keep lights on their bicycles.
One person is dead and 2 others are in critical condition after a car crash in West Lafayette, Indiana, early Monday morning. According to the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office, the incident occurred after the driver lost control of the vehicle, hitting a concrete post while driving north in the 5600 block of US 231. In addition to the crash, a fire was also started in the collision. The 2 survivors were taken to a hospital with serious injuries. As of Monday evening, the investigation was ongoing with several police and fire agencies as well as the county coroner's office participating.
On Monday, the UINDY community gathered together to remember Professor Kevin McKelby, who passed away unexpectedly this summer from injuries sustained in a car accident. UINDY TV's Addison Mosley and Evan Porterfield are here with the story.
The UINDY community is here gathered to mourn the loss of professor and poet Kevin McKelby.
When I was taking classes with him, I always felt like I could be myself because I feel like he was always himself in the classroom. And I love professors like that because it's like a lot easier to get along with them and get to know them, and for them to get to know you too, and that's something that I loved about him so much.
Kevin McKelby was a friendly giant. He was one of the tallest men I've ever met in my life. He was so incredibly welcoming, and at the same time, he made you so ambitious. He was so motivating. He would give you the real. Like, if you needed to improve on something, he'd let you know. So there's a lot of us that he really, really advanced our careers and our ability as writers and readers.
Of our greater Indianapolis community gathered here today to remember someone who meant so much to the university. And no matter what we say and how we remember him, there is a void we are all feeling today.
Kevin McKelby's legacy lives on in every story, poem, plant, and student that he touched. My name is Addison Mosley for UINDY TV.
Thank you, Addison and Edmund. McKelby founded Etchings Press and co-founded the Master of Arts and Social Practice program. He also created the community gardens to grow fresh vegetables on campus to address food access and scarcity in the area, according to Dignity Memorial. McKelby was a passionate advocate for students, environmental stewardship, creative placemaking, and social practice art. But above all, his heart was with his family. McKelby's spirit and legacy will continue to live on through the countless gardens and lives he nurtured. Students are encouraged to sign up for timely care or schedule time with the counseling centers as needed.
Shots were fired at a Kroger on the east side of Indianapolis on Sunday afternoon. According to Fox 59, the incident happened at 4445 East 10th Street. Shots were exchanged between a red SUV and 2 people on foot, according to IMPD. No one was injured, and as of Monday evening, no arrests have been made. Police found 14 shell casings at the scene, as well as damage to both a store window and car windows. 4 suspects were involved, according to police reports. although they have not been publicly identified. As of Monday evening, few other details were available.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun has called lawmakers to attend a special session of the General Assembly starting on November 3rd. This comes after multiple meetings between Braun and Vice President J.D. Vance talking about potentially redrawing the state's congressional map. Last week, Politico reported that Indiana state Republicans do not have the votes to pass a redistricting plan. Braun wants the session to occur regardless, claiming the voices of Hoosiers are being diminished in Washington by other states. Critics of the special session include former Governor Mitch Daniels, who requested Republicans resist the redistricting pressure in a Washington Post op last Wednesday. Republicans control 7 of the 9 congressional districts in Indiana. Proponents hope Indiana Republicans will control all 9 after redistricting.
A new commission tasked with looking at Indiana annexing some of Illinois' counties has met for the first time. The Indiana-Illinois Boundary Adjustment Commission was created in the last legislative session as part of Speaker Todd Huston's agenda. The goal for the commission is to see if it will be feasible for rural Republican Illinois counties to join Indiana to get more representation. A similar idea was tried in Oregon and Idaho, but ultimately the counties remained with their respective states.
Residents and local advocacy groups in New Albany are demanding answers about the ongoing legal battle surrounding the Silver Creek Dam. Last year, Mayor Jeff Gahan approved a construction plan to improve safety around the Silver Creek landing. The plan was subsequently halted by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, citing regulatory concerns. Opponents argue that the dam is not historic and not worth the legal battle, while Mayor Gahan sees things differently. The New Albany City Council met last week to discuss the flood protection budget for next year, but instead the discussion moved toward transparency given the mayor was absent.
Circle City Broadcasting, the parent company of Wish TV and UINDY TV 23, announced Tuesday that it has entered a definitive agreement to acquire WRTV ABC from the EW Scripps Company for $83 million. The announcement was made by owner, president, and CEO of Circle City Broadcasting, DeJuan McCoy. Circle City Broadcasting is a privately held media company that is majority owned, operated, and controlled by McCoy. According to Wish TV, he is a veteran broadcaster and former owner of Bayou City Broadcasting. The company currently owns and operates Wish TV and WNDY. The transaction is expected to close following approval by the Federal Communications Commission.
A pair of tortoises taken from the Indianapolis Zoo were found yesterday afternoon at a park in a county away. According to the Indiana State Police, the 2 animals were reportedly taken 2 weeks ago. But after Falls Park visitors called Pendleton Police to report a cardboard box with a paper plate on top referencing the zoo, the visitors found the tortoises. Pendleton is roughly a 45-minute drive away from Indianapolis, so the pair was quite away from home. State Police say they're not sharing any additional information yet on the case.
Thank you, Vanessa. Jace, I got some big Halloween plans this weekend. How's the weather going to be looking?
It should be looking pretty good. We'll get into that in just a second. As we look back at the weather map now, this rain is going to be persisting for the next day or so. This is a little bit of a nuisance, kind of sticking around, but eventually this over here is our high pressure area, make things more dry, more constant. That'll eventually undercut and move this off to the north and give us some dry weather as we head into the rest of the week. Looking into tomorrow, some rain still expected over the course of the day, but it will peter out over the night hours. And then Friday, Saturday should be awesome. We've had some Halloween weekends in the past that have had some rough weather with snow, with ice and stuff like that. This time should be very good. Friday should be 58 degrees at the high and around that mid-50, low 40 level heading into the night hours for trick-or-treating. Saturday should be also nice, 53 degrees, 35 as the low, and Sunday will continue that constant weather in the mid-50 degree range. So some beautiful weather throughout the course of Halloween weekend. When we come back, some sports with Chris and Nate.
And
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me.
Duh.
Sure.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Well, if you didn't believe in the Colts before, well, you have to now. 7-1 on the season as the Titans, they fall, I believe it was 38-14. Yes, correct. In that game, though, Daniel Jones did incredible. 21-29, 272, and also 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He played incredible. As you also look at the running game, Jonathan Taylor, 12 carries, 154 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns, had a receiving touchdown as well. You see one of his touchdowns on the screen as well. But, Chris, this offense has been incredible.
This offense has been more than incredible. It's been elite so far at this game right now. Daniel Jones is looking amazing. As we mentioned, Jonathan Taylor on the screen right now, he's putting himself in the running for MVP at this point. He's had several 3-touchdown games right now. He should definitely be an MVP candidate in my opinion. And there is just a buzz around this city that I haven't seen since, honestly, the early Andrew Luck days of this team. This city is really getting behind this team, and it's largely due to this offense. And I want to give some props to the Colts O-line as well. Jonathan Taylor's getting all this love in the national media. I feel like the Colts O-line needs to get some props too, because they are creating some big holes for Jonathan Taylor to run through right now.
You see there Pittman's touchdown, 8 catches, 93 yards on the day for Michael Pittman Jr. He had a great game, and you look into that offense, all the weapons they have. You know, Tyler Warren, you have Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor. This is a really good offense that can make some noise when you come into the next couple of games, and then eventually, hopefully, into the playoffs. As we look at this Colts team, as we mentioned at the start, 7-1. They'll be on the road next week taking on Pittsburgh. But that defense as well, Chris, I mean, it's been really good, but they've been really banged up in the secondary.
That defense has been really banged up, but a stat that I saw that really speaks to me is that so far the Colts are the only team in the NFL right now to have a takeaway in each game that they played. So coming into the season, not too many people were high on our defense, but they have showed up. They've played through injuries. They've got that mindset of if somebody goes down, it's next man up. We don't lose any steam. We pick up right where we left off, and that's what we've been seeing from this Colts team so far.
Defense firing on all cylinders, the offense firing on all cylinders, and Jonathan Taylor has been the man who's done it all. He just racked in his 4th 3-touchdown performance, and he's on his way, like you mentioned a couple minutes ago, potentially in that MVP conversation. Once again, Pittsburgh Steelers on the road, and they will be at 1 o'clock start, I believe.
1 o'clock kickoff in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Got to get it done. So moving on, we have the World Series in full effect right now. Game 4 just wrapped up last night. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. First game was in Toronto, the Dodgers and Blue Jays. Blue Jays found a way to get the win in Game 1. I think that was a big statement win for the Blue Jays because a lot of people going into this series expected the Dodgers to absolutely run away with this. But the Blue Jays went into Game 1 saying, we're here to compete. Dodgers got one in Game 2 to tie it up. And then Game 3 is the one that everybody is talking about.
Man.
This 18-inning long marathon of a game. I believe it lasted over 6.5 hours. The game wrapped up around 2:45 a.m. here on the East Coast. But the Dodgers become victorious in that game on a walk-off home run by Freddie Freeman to take a 2-1 series lead. And then in the game last night, short turnaround for these guys. They just played a 6-hour game, and then the next morning, get back up, you got another game to go. The Blue Jays would get it done in that game, and the series is now tied at 2 games apiece heading into tonight. So I think whoever wins this game tonight has the momentum for the series. I think whoever can get the job done tonight has the best chance to win the series. Nate, what do you think you need to see out of either of these teams to get the job done for the rest of the series?
You look at the Blue Jays and, you look at the Dodgers. Dodgers have a lot of those big names, like in pitching, especially when it comes to like Mookie Betts and hitting as well. But you look at the Blue Jays and they don't have maybe the name talent, the name recognition that the Dodgers have, but the Blue Jays, I mean, they got a team, and they play like a team, and you see that on the field. For the Blue Jays, they just got to keep doing what they're doing and just hope that not one player of the Dodgers goes off in Game 5. Because I agree with you, Game 5 is one of the most pivotal games that you can have because of just the back and forth that we've had already. You go up, you just need that one more game. As we move now to the Pacers, and just not a good start to the season. 0-3 with an overtime loss to the Thunder, but then a loss to the Minnesota, as you see on your screen, and Edwards, the Timberwolves. But it's just not been, I think, their fault. I don't think it's been the Pacers' fault at all. And you look at the game they play tonight against the Mavericks, you have Obi Toppin, who's going to be out. Benedict Mathurin will be out. Andrew Nembhard will be out. Both rookies, Cam Jones and Peters, will be out. And you keep just putting all these names in a list. T.J. McConnell, Tyrese Halliburton, all not going to be playing in this game. It's just injuries. And it doesn't really look good for a team that was in the finals last year. And you looked at it, you thought they had a chance to redo something. Only having Tyrese hurt. So far, it's only been the Pascal Siakam show.
It has. And coming into the season, I think a lot of Pacers fans and people in Indiana knew that this team was probably going to take a step back without Tyrese in the lineup. It absolutely sucks that he cannot play the whole year with that Achilles injury in the NBA Finals. But Pacers right now sitting at 14th in the Eastern Conference. The only team to be worse than them right now is the Brooklyn Nets. But like you said, injuries. We just signed Mac McClung to a 1-year deal, largely because we need some guards.
We need someone to be on the court while they play the games. Yeah.
We need bodies to play the game, and it's just not looking good. But the good news, the silver lining for the Pacers fans it's still early. It's an 82-game long season. We're at Game 4. So there is time if they would like to correct this ship. But as of right now, it's not looking too good with the injuries.
And you look at the injuries, and Tyrese Halliburton out for the entire season. But you look at the other injuries that you see in the Pacers roster, and they're not really there. I mean, they're going to be down for a couple weeks, or I think Toppin is the one December 1st. But everyone else should be back before then. As we continue in the basketball realm, the Purdue Boilermakers taking on UIndy tonight. You can tune in on WICR. But they're going to have to do something never seen before.
What's that?
They have to win.
Oh.
Really? Exactly. They've never beat Purdue. They are 4-0. Purdue is 4-0. But something that's also never been seen before is this Dr. Seuss book, I guess. Luke, can you tell us more about that unseen Dr. Seuss book?
Yes, that's right. A newly discovered Dr. Seuss manuscript is being published next year, and it stars a fan favorite. The manuscript, called Sing the 50 United States, was found at the Geisel Library in California and will be published just in time for America's 250th birthday. Seuss's iconic Cat in the Hat and 2 little cats will be featured in the book to help kids learn all about the 50 states and classical Seuss style. It's the first new manuscript in a decade with new illustrations. Random House Children's Books plans to release Sing the 50 States on June 2nd, with 500,000 copies ready to hit the shelves.
The UIndy Department of Art and Design is hosting an opening reception for the faculty exhibition on November 3rd. Full-time faculty will get the chance to showcase their creative scholarship in the areas of art, history, graphic design, painting, drawing, photography, printmaking, sculpture, ceramics, and illustration. The event will be from 4 to 6 p.m. in the Crystal DeHaan Fine Arts Gallery. Students can also visit the artwork on weekdays through December 5th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Racing fans, start your engines. Tickets for the 110th Indianapolis 500 and the Brickyard 400 are now on sale. Indianapolis Motor Speedway officials say fans who buy their tickets now can get the best available seats at the lowest prices, and prices will increase as 2026 rolls around and we get closer to the races. The 2026 Indy 500 is taking place on Sunday, May 24th, and the Brickyard 400 is happening on Sunday, July 26th. Tickets for both races could be purchased at the IMS box office or online at indianapolismotorspeedway.com.
Indianapolis announces trick-or-treat hours for Halloween this year. IMPD will be patrolling various neighborhoods on Halloween from 6 to 8 p.m. this Friday to make sure the community members celebrating the holiday are safe, according to city officials. Families are encouraged to review safety tips from the city and have a happy and safe Halloween. So, do you have any plans for Halloween, Luke?
I have a few plans.
What are your plans?
Gonna probably go out, hit town probably.
Period. What are you dressing up as?
I haven't decided yet, but I have a few things in mind.
Halloween is literally so soon, and you don't have a costume?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice and pick one.
Oh my gosh, that's lame. Anyways, thank you for tuning into UINDY TV News.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at UINDY-TV to stay up to date on all things sports, news, and entertainment.
As always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.